to more Fanime. What's up, guys? Today, I'm gonna go down my list of my top 10 favorite One Piece movie characters currently. Yeah, I mean, this list could change down the line as more One Piece movies come out, or as I've noticed, as I rewatch these movies, I find things that I didn't notice the first time watching them that makes me love them even more. I've heard some fans say they don't like the One Piece movies because they're mostly not canon to the manga material. I personally love them. I do. I really do. There's very few of them that I don't love. At the very least, I can enjoy the ride. I can enjoy the adventure. At the very least, it's decent filler with really good art. And it's just another adventure with the crew. I honestly could just watch the Straw Hat crew just being themselves on the high seas, pirating it up. And that's kind of what some of these movies do. They go on an adventure, they meet a bad guy, they fight the bad guy. And that's my shiz, and I love it. So I sat down and I really thought about it with my brain hole, and I said, who are my top 10 favorite One Piece movie characters? Not villains, characters. Who are they? Who are they? Who are the best of the best from these movies? Characters that I almost wish were part of the main story. And you know, in a weird way, some of them have a little bit of canon in them, so they're kind of part of the story. Just what happens in the movie isn't true. I don't know. It's very weird. I like to imagine them as an alternate universe where the Straw Hat crew go on separate adventures that I love to watch. And you know what's great about the movies is you don't have to watch an entire section of the story to understand what's going on. You can just put it on. Let's say you're just going to bed soon. You need a movie to watch before bed ski or right as you're eating dinner. And you're like, God, I really want an injection of One Piece in my veins. And you can just grab one of the movies of various lengths, usually between 1 hour to an hour and a half. You pop that bad boy in and you enjoy the One Piece. And that's all you can really ask for. So let's get into it. If you haven't seen these movies, spoiler warning, because I might spoil some stuff from them. I recommend you watch all of them. I really do. They're fun. They're entertaining. Some of them are outright gorgeous with the animation. So let's just get right into it. Number 10. Oh, I almost forgot. I do have a special mention before I get to number 10. Komoi. A special mention from this guy from a TV special. The One Piece Adventure of Nebulandia is not an official One Piece movie, but it is One Piece movie length, and it has a movie structure to it. If it came out in theaters, I wouldn't have been mad if I saw it and paid a ticket for it. That's how good this TV special is. And this movie villain, or TV special villain, Komoi, I wanted to add him to this list, but I couldn't because he wasn't technically in a movie. So I decided to just mention him here and now. Komoi is the main antagonist of the Adventure of Nebulandia, and I highly recommend it. It is the movie that involves Foxy and the Foxy Pirates. And some people don't like them. I like them. I think they're cool. I think they're funny. And it's a movie where Luffy actually gets to team up with Foxy. One of the things I really like about Komoi, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but he's a former Marine, or he pretends to be a former Marine, but he's really undercover, joining the Foxy crew to get Luffy, essentially, to take down Luffy Dog. But one of the first things he does is he eliminates two of Luffy's top players, Zoro and Sanji. He takes them off the board. This guy is essentially a strategist. He is the Shikamaru versus Luffy, essentially. He's strong and he knows hockey, but his main weapon is his mind. And I love that. It reminds me a lot of Jonathan from what's it called? The filler arc. God, G8 arc. That he's very much of a strategist where he's just moving the pieces so he can eliminate the Straw Hat crew one member at a time, capturing them 1, 2, 3 until it's down to just Luffy and Foxy. And he also has a crazy twist at the end, which I will not reveal. I highly recommend you go watch it. It's good. It's on the Funimation app. I assume it's on the Crunchyroll app. Download it, whatever. Buy it. It's worth watching. I have watched it 2 times. That's how good it is, and I will watch it again. Some of the TV specials aren't good. This one's great. All right, let's get into my list of my top 10 One Piece movie characters. Number 10, Brief from movie 6, Baron Amatsuri. Brief, if you don't remember, if you haven't seen movie 6, stop this video right here and go watch it, because it is a gem. It is something special that we'll never see again. It is gorgeous. It's directed by a famous Japanese anime director who did a lot of the Digimon movies, and the art style is very unique, very simplified, but very more into the motion than the detail, and I think you really like it. Brief is this guy who was a former captain of the Mustache Pirates. They would do this symbol where they go, where they put their finger up here like a mustache, and he had like a little Charlie Chaplin mustache, and he saves Luffy's life in the movie. Like, without this dude, Luffy and the crew would be dead. They would have been eaten alive by a giant plant creature, the Lily Carnation, and I give him that. He's a hardcore little man. He's not a tough guy. He just started to become a pirate with his friends because he likes adventure. And I like that. I really do. I like the sense of simplicity with him. I like that even though his crew was eaten alive by this plant, which is really dark, he didn't give up hope. He actually inspired Luffy, who kind of gives up hope in this movie, which is very rare for him. He saves Luffy's ass. He survives on this island for God knows how long and waits until the perfect moment to show up and save the frickin' day. He digs tunnels like nobody's business. Yeah, Brief. And to be honest, I was juggling between Brief as my number 10 or the Honey Queen from movie 2, mostly because of fan service with her. That was it. She had a really cool devil fruit, though. She could turn into honey, I think, or some type of liquid, unnamed liquid. There isn't many, I don't think there are any other liquid devil fruits that we've seen. So that was really cool, but she didn't really do a whole lot, and she loses by being captured in a jar by Nami. So I couldn't put her on the list, but she was teetering for sure. Number 9, Saga from movie 7. Yes, movie 7, The Cursed Sword or Cursed Blade or some shiz. Decent movie, not the best. Doesn't even come close to movie 6. But Saga is a movie original character who's the main villain of movie 7, who's looking for this cursed blade, this ancient sword. But what I like about him is he's connected to Zoro. What I like about the movie is it is a Zoro-centric movie, and it could have done a lot more things right for Zoro, but it was cool because Zoro kind of gets to have the final battle with him. It was a connection to his past, and it makes me just wonder about cool ideas of what Zoro did as a pirate hunter before he met Luffy. And that's what Saga gives me in my brain as I'm imagining cool shit that he used to do, how he got his reputation in the East Blue. And him and Saga, you know, they have a connection. And then Luffy, it kind of turns on the crew. This dude is so, Zoro is so committed to his friendships from the past that he kind of turns on his crew. He fights Sanji at one point, kicking his ass in this movie in a quick little battle, which should have been longer. The animation's really good. The shading's good. I think the story just wasn't ironed out completely. I think this guy Saga had a cool idea. I like the idea of a cursed blade, kind of like Zoro's cursed blade that he got. And we could have got more details about that. It's not canon in any way, shape, or form, but it's a decent movie to put on while you're eating some popcorn and just turn your brain off and have a good time watching Zoro do his Zoro thing. And there's some funny moments in it as well. Number 8, Baccarat from Film Gold. Yes, this is the lady from Film Gold that talks to the Straw Hat crew as they come to, Gil Tesoro's casino island thing. And she's like real nice to them at first, but you don't realize that she has a devil fruit, a very unique devil fruit, the luck fruit, where she can take your luck away or give you luck or suck it up for herself and gain all the luck, which is so cool. And I think that the concept of a luck fruit is just very fun. And I think her battle with Usopp, I think she fought, what was it, Chopper too? Maybe Nami was involved in that fight, but Usopp was able to outmaneuver her luck by using it all up, using a slot machine, I believe. And I just thought that was really unique. I like her design for one reason or another. I think that she's my favorite of the henchmen of Gil Tesoro for sure. Baccarat is a cool name. I think that, the whole twist on her abilities really is what sold me with her. For sure. I mean, maybe she could have been lower on this list, but I like her a lot. I do. Film Gold's pretty solid. Number 7. These are the top 7. This is where the shit gets real, people. These are the 7 that were easy to put down. Those last 3, those were tough. Those were coin flips. There was a few that could have been up and down. I could have put someone else in those places, for sure. But number 7 is Shiraya Beskut. This guy is from movie 4. It is not, what is it called? Dead End Adventure. Oh yeah! And he's one of the coolest characters, movie original characters ever. This guy's dope as shiz. This guy fights, his fighting style alone. He's got no devil fruit abilities. No. But he is quick. He is skilled. He wants revenge. He's cooler than the main villain of the story. He's one of the coolest characters in most of all the movies that One Piece has ever produced. I wish there was a character like him. I would say the closest would be Kaku in his ability to use like a shovel as a weapon. Like, he uses random, utensils in a bar to fight. He doesn't use, a sword. He doesn't use a gun. No, he'll grab a freaking shovel and take your ass out. I don't care who you are. He has one of the best fight scenes in that entire movie against a guy named Needless. And I like him. I like him. If you haven't seen Dead End Adventure, I recommend it, mostly for this guy. This guy... He'll make you want him to be canon. He'll make you want him to be on the Straw Hat crew. I would trade Chopper for this guy. If he could do doctoring, yes, sir, baby. If he could doctor as well as he fights with a shovel, yes. All right, number 6, Bullet from Stampede. One Piece Stampede. One of the biggest movies with all the characters in it, which is pretty dope. And, I really like Bullet in the beginning of the movie. He's kind of like the brawly type. He's big, buff, and bad, but he's got a little bit of personality at the beginning of the movie. He has a little bit of ego, and he wants to fight the best. He wants to be the best. And I love his first bout with the Worst Generation at the beginning or midway through the movie before he does the crazy CGI transformation. That's where it lost me. That's where I lost my love for Bullet. But up until that point, love this dude. I love his design. He looks vicious. He looks tough. He looks like he could literally take on the entire world, which is essentially what he does in that movie. It's just when he uses his devil fruit, and I was like, I don't like it. I don't like the way it looks. If it was hand-drawn, it might be okay. It was like a kaiju fruit, essentially. He could just take ships and shit and form a giant robot monster thing when he awakens it. It was okay. It was a good movie, and it gets better every time I watch it, for sure. Bullet had a lot more potential. But I like him. I like the fact that he's connected to the Roger Pirates. Buggy even's like, oh god, that's Bullet. Bullet is just a scary motherfucker that, had to be put in his place. But I like Bullet. I do. And when I first saw the movie, the CGI really fucked with me. But I rewatched it, and I really like him as a villain. And if they made him more canon, introduced his character, I'd be cool with it. Just leave the devil fruit out of it. I just think that whole battle, if it was just hand-to-hand combat, the way it was at the beginning of the movie, ooh, buddy, this guy would be in my top 2, for sure. Number 5, Baron Amatsu. Matsuri, yes, from movie 6. Again, back to movie 6, 2 characters from movie 6. That tells you how good it is. Baron Matsuri is interesting, to say the least. Again, go watch that movie. It's so good. Worth every penny. This dude's dope as shit. I wish they would dub this movie so bad. If they ever go back and dub all the movies, I mean, they don't need it. I mean, the Japanese is fucking fantastic, but I hope they go back and retroactively dub all the older movies, especially this one, because it's so unique, so beautiful, and this dude is just a monster of a man. His entire crew dies in a shipwreck, and he decides to make a deal with this evil plant that lives on his shoulder, the lily carnation, and it looks like this little happy plant, and it makes a deal. He will feed it people. He will feed it people to keep his crew, or at least zombie versions of this crew that have memories and personalities like his dead crewmates, so that he could still hang out with them, even though they never age, and they slowly decay if he doesn't feed them more people. So he just has to do that. He has to continuously feed this plant, and he basically becomes one with this creature, and it's dark as all heck. It's the darkest thing in the One Piece universe. This monster that has nothing to do with devil fruits. I love it. I love Baron Matsuri, and I connect him with the Lily Carnation. I think if I had them as 2 separate characters, the Lily Carnation would be on this list as well. But I consider them as one because they were kind of a symbiote. Very much like, Carnage from Spider-Man. They were like one thing, and at one point the flower turned into a giant amalgamation of all the Straw Hat crews fucking with Luffy. And Luffy's like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. And one thing I really liked about the Baron is his weapon of choice was a bow and arrow. Oh yeah, looking at you, Hawkeye. Looking at you, buddy boy, Green Arrow. Looking at you, Legolas. Yes, he pulls out a bow and arrow that shoots heat-seeking bows, or arrows that just shoot through the air, kind of like the dude from, what's his name, from Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, it has the whistle arrows. It's sick as all heck. Oh yeah. I love the fact that he uses this bow and arrow weapon. Really, can you comment down below, let me know another One Piece character that uses a bow and arrow as badass as this guy does. He takes Luffy out one limb at a time. Like, Luffy has one arm coming after him, he shoots it with an arrow, it goes back. He gets another arm, goes back. Luffy goes for his feet, they get shot with an arrow. His neck gets pierced with an arrow, and he's covered with arrows. He's stuck against a rock. This dude almost beat Luffy if it wasn't for Brief, inspiring Luffy, saving his ass not once but 2 times in the movie. Luffy, this guy, I would say Baron Matsuri came the closest to actually defeating Luffy in one of these movies, and Luffy actually needed help from the outside other than just beefing up or using some gear transformation, which he didn't have yet. And I love that. I love that. His whole crew was captured. He had no help but the generic One Piece movie characters that were there, a family that was just kind of randomly there, and Brief. And they made it work, baby. They killed that little plant. All right. We're down to the final 4, which, they're pretty obvious because you'll see. The movies get better with time. They do. And the latest, 5 or I think 5 that Oda was highly involved in are the best of the best. And that's why you'll see in these final 4. Number 4 is Uta from movie film Red. She's so unique. She's like the weirdest good villain. Like, she's not a bad person. She's trying to help people. She just has a little bit of PTSD, if you want to call it, but she's got some emotional damage. Her father, or her surrogate father, Shanks, just abandoned her after she murdered everybody on this island. She has one of the most unique gimmicks, singing. I've listened to her soundtrack over and over and over again because it's that good. She's one of the most popular characters in Japan right now. And she's not really, she's canon to the story is what I'm hearing. But I don't know if we'll ever see her in the actual manga. We will see. but I like her a lot. I like her more the more I watch Film Red, which I own on Blu-ray, and I think that it's a fantastic movie with a unique premise that you don't get a lot. It isn't just big bad monster man versus the Straw Hat Crew. No, it's this little singing girl that has this OP devil fruit ability that only works for her because she's a great singing girl. Yeah! And I love it. I do. The animation's fantastic. She's a good character. You can see she gets a little crazier as the story goes on, and I like that. A little dark. Yeah, I like Uta. I wish I could put her higher on this list, but the next three, I just can't put her above. Gil Tesoro is numero 30, and really the only thing holding Gil Tesoro back, who has a badass devil fruit. He can manipulate gold. He chokes a dude out with the gold early in the story. He's involved with CP0, like dealing with them, giving the tribute. He's a beast. He got away from the celestial dragons. I think really the only thing holding this dude back, who's a great villain, evil as fuck. The only problem is he doesn't really get a good, well fleshed out backstory until the very end of the movie after he'd been defeated. And I don't know, I just felt like I wanted it earlier. I wanted it to be a little longer, more detailed. It's kind of flashes. You have to really watch it and pay attention and know what's going on. Something about his girlfriend being a slave to the celestial dragons and then him becoming a slave to the celestial dragons. Love it. He's a character that actually survives at the end, and my boy Rob Lucci takes him in to, impel down, assumingly. He's not a canon character at all, but I love his design, his suits. He's got swagger. He's got one of the best pirate crews out of the movie characters for sure. That big-headed guy and Baccarat. Yeah, he's the second character on this list for movie Film Gold, which says a lot. I love the whole heist concept from Film Gold that kind of happens because of my boy Gil Tesoro. Yeah, number 3 for a reason. This guy is cool, calm, collected until he's not. Until he snaps. He's kind of like a calmer version of our boy Doflamingo. I like him. I do. I like the name. I like the design. I think that the idea of manipulating gold is very piratey. Oh yeah. Number 2. From Film Z. Zephyr. Whatever you want to call him. This old Marine turned Neo-Marine is badass. This guy's an old boy, just like Garp, but he's still fighting. He lost his entire family. He lost most of his crew, murdered by a seven warlord member, which is hinted to be, I think, Doflamingo or Weevil. Comment down below, let me know, which is really cool backstory. He has a fist fight with Luffy that just kicks absolute ass, like Rocky 2 style fight. Love it. Simple. Love that. He has a battle with my favorite Marine, Kizaru, at the beginning of the movie, which is dope as shit. Willing to sacrifice himself to fulfill his plan of, destroying these corners of the earth to destroy the new world. Love Zephyr. Zephyr is sick. He's got a great backstory that connects him to the One Piece world. Honestly, this movie is one of the easiest ones to stick into the canon universe. You could say it happened between Fishman Island and Punk Hazard, and you can easily just stick that bad boy right there and then go right into the story. You really can. I really like Zed. I like his design. I love his whole gimmick. It's great. He doesn't need a devil fruit. No, he uses this crazy sea prism stone arm to fight devil fruit users, which is really cool. He's a good guy that just had a lot of trauma. Yeah, I like that. I do. Film Z. Top two movies of all time for this guy. Now, finally, numero uno. Can you guess my number 1 One Piece movie character of all time? And I don't think it's ever going to change because I saw this movie. This was the first One Piece movie I ever saw. And it was in theaters because it was re-released because of the 10-year anniversary, I think. Can you guess what it is? Can you guess who it is? I'll give you a hint. Baby Doll. Yes! My guy with the Jamaican accent. Looks like a shogun. Had his own cool little issue 0, which I still need to read, but I know the gist of it. Shiki. the Golden Lion, one of the only people to ever escape, impel down. This guy is the most canon of all these characters. He is probably a character that could show up in the actual story in some way, shape, or form. He's shown up. His face has shown up when that lady, from Wano was showing her transformation devil fruit. She changed into a younger Shiki. He was a member of the Rock's Pirates, probably Rox's right-hand man. Even though he's probably not as strong as Whitebeard, he was probably more loyal than Whitebeard. The dude went toe-to-toe with Garp and Sengoku, and the Pirate King, Goldie Roger, baby! And I think the only reason his character was so weak in comparison to those characters in his movie Strong World. One, it was set pre-time skip, which, that's tough. That's a tough one, because they get way stronger after the time skip. Two, the dude cut his legs off before he had his legs, and he used swords with his arms, but he cuts his legs off to escape prison. So he can use his float fruit, which is OP as shit. I assume he awoke in it, because he can just lift liquids and ground and people and just throw them around in the air. As long as he can touch them, he can lift them. And he can form them into giant serpents and lions and shit. He's got one of the coolest villain designs. Piratey. It's sick. He's got the ship wheel mohawk, which you just gotta love it. You gotta love the Golden Lion. His English dub voice is fantastic, and once you watch it, it gets stuck in your head. He's got some of the funniest gimmicks. His dance at the beginning of the movie, when him and his squad with his mime and his gorilla are dancing, love it. Sticks in your head. You'll never forget it. Look it up. Movie Strong World. Like I said, I have a bias because I saw it in theaters. It was so good. So good, baby. So good. Strong World is my #1 movie, and Shiki is my #1 movie character of all time. I think the only thing I wish that happened in the story, because of how strong his character was, and again, I should get back to my point, he cut his legs off, so he had to change his fighting style completely, where he had to float and walk on blades. He didn't have wooden feet, no, like a pirate would, like peg legs. No, he had swords for legs, because he used to be a swordsman, and then he would float around, and using his float fruit ability. Not only that, but 20 years. He planned a plan for 20 years to destroy, to take over the East Blue, the weakest sea, all because they killed one of his biggest rivals, Goldie Roger. I really love Shiki, if it isn't obvious. If you love Shiki, like this video, share this video, subscribe to more Fanime. Who's your favorite One Piece movie character? Comment down below. Let me know. Shiki's mine. I would love to get a Shiki figure to add to my collection. I have this Strong World Luffy that I absolutely adore, because I absolutely adore that movie and that villain. Again, don't forget to subscribe. I'll talk to you later.